Hi Taurus, welcome to your New Year's Eve, going into the new year, mini tarot reading for love, advice, romance, anything along those lines. Hold on. Here we go, Queen of Earth. And the Nine of Fire, so this is doing something a little bit out of the ordinary maybe, or not or out of the ordinary, but this is like, they look like they've snuck off, so doing something, like where people can't see because they look like they're behind the wall. This Justice card came up. Probably people looking in and on things to get a better idea of, that went all the way across the, okay. This is the Knight of Fire, Sagittarius, and that's also, this is Moon in Sagittarius. Maybe you have a Moon in Sagittarius. This is for Moon anywhere that you have Taurus energy. So this is jumping into something, riding fast into a situation, being rambunctious. I feel like you're very energetic to get somewhere, and just maybe you're on fire. This is the Ten of Water, and Mars in Pisces, which is kind of like, I always think of Pisces as like sister, sibling to Sagittarius, since they're both, Sagittarius is just Jupiter, but Pisces is co-ruled by Jupiter and Neptune, so there's that like mixture. They both have that sort of fiery part to them that is just, I feel like activated by different things, so or different outlets or something like that. So this is maybe taking in the view, and things get associated to all these different cards throughout all the different readings, and some negative, some positive. This, I'm not going to try to not say something about a card because it had at one point a negative connotation, in the sense that this is new love. This is like, that's what I usually think of in that video where they're all standing in the lake and looking up at something. Pyramid. This is a volcano. It's like a nymph, like a water nymph, mermaid kind of situation, like entangled hair, and maybe trying to get a better view by seeing something, giving yourself some shade from something that's very bright. Maybe you see something very bright. Here's the Moon in Taurus on the bottom here. Maybe you see something very, I don't know, I want to say like bright, but like maybe you're light sensitive. Maybe your eyes are light sensitive, like mine are. Let's see. Like I usually have this turned down like a few pegs, notches, what do you call them? Bars. That's how I get myself in trouble, saying things that people just like, I don't know. People have had some experiences that lead them to think things that never intended, but yeah. This is flipped out at Chariot, and also the 21, the World, and here we go. The Nine of Cups, Pisces, again, Jupiter in Pisces. So maybe you're just feeling like a big expanse of energy. You're just feeling very like lively, because Jupiter is that very like grandiose, lucky. Maybe you're trying to going back to school or something like that. Maybe it has something to do with around a school that you're going to, or here's a temple. And I did mention that love video, so there's like some sort of temple there. Like maybe there's something on Jupiter. I I don't know where that came from. Seven of Water, and Venus in Scorpio. So if any of these, I mean, Venus does also rule Taurus. So I kept saying in one of the other videos something about I kept mentioning Pluto a lot, like having as though it like ruled Aries, and I know it doesn't. But I did in multiple videos when that happens. Like I don't know, because it's one of those things that's just like very absolute fact to me. So, or just like basic knowledge. So I don't know where I kept mixing up Mars and Pluto or Aries and Scorpio. So I don't know. But this is maybe having an intruder or something coming through when you're not expecting. Maybe something happening while you're in the shower. Maybe I think of that song, So Hot You're Hurting My Feelings because of claws. It's the last place I saw claws. And so maybe you feel things deeply, but on the surface you are more, and you're taking them all in, you're taking all the senses in, and you're just sort of like letting loose. Maybe normally you're very like restrained, held back, and so you're just sort of like letting loose and enjoying yourself. And I always think of a party too, and just feeling very happy. I was thinking more of like a dinner party kind of thing, not so much like a rowdy party, although we do have this here. So maybe there's something happening in the south, and maybe wearing some, some southern accessories, and maybe some things in your hair like she has going on. Like those things we used to think of the Iggy Azalea Savior video, because I mentioned this, like those things I think we had in like 7th grade, 6th or 7th grade, maybe even earlier 5th grade, that you just like stick them into your hair because they had Velcro on the back and they were like cheap rhinestones, and we thought they looked really cool, but just looked like, I don't know. There's better ones now, and that's what the video I think of. I'll probably be adding some to the playlist that I already put together, and for the last previous signs, so check that out if you haven't. There's one by Shuffle, and there's also one that of connections and songs and things that I mentioned in these videos, so you have a point of reference. So this is the Knight of Water. You have a lot of people too, and I've been pulling a ton of cards as they've all been kind of coming out. So for you, because this is a little bit not what I was trying to do, but Fortune, Wheel of Fortune. So your last one, say the best for last. Moon and Taurus, or Taurus people, love Taurus people. Y'all very like grounded and more laid back, I feel like, even though okay, there's so much like jumping out at me. So let me focus and diving into something. Don't hesitate, just dive right in. This is the King of Fire. And so that's Leo sign, and that's, I think Taurus and Leo are opposite, so I think they're partner signs, and so it's just like maybe dive right in to go meet your person if that's what you're trying to do. Otherwise, just maybe go big or go home kind of thing. Anything else for the Moon? Taurus. Pisces, this is, I also think of the Tower, so maybe intentionally diving in instead of just being like thrown out of something. The Hierophant also came up, split at one point. Taurus people, maybe you're just overseeing a lot and having to deal with a lot, so that's why all these cards keep coming up in a lot of different situations, and you feel scattered, and you're trying to rein everything in so that you can have a fun New Year's. See, for Taurus people, last bit of love advice. 5 of Fire, Saturn and Leo. So this card came up a bunch in the last few readings, or from a few days ago, and I mentioned in the last one that there's a lot of that seriousness and almost like rough around the edges, kind of like get down to business kind of thing. Maybe you just need to like rip off your clothes and just dive right in and not hold back or anything like that, and just take control. Because there's that very serious aspect of Saturn, which is about discipline and it's about like structure and things like that. But then Leo is the more happy, like childlike. I shouldn't say that with this card, but like very open and embracing and warm and just sort of like friendly energy of fun and play and things like that. So there's that mixture of just being very diligent, I want to say, too. Like, there's a bunch of different things going on here. So again, maybe you just feel like your hands are tied, or you don't have the control that you are used to, and maybe mainly because you have a lot of things to attend to, and so you are just you're just going with it and trying to maybe in more regular terms, like trying to just get things done so that you can have fun and play on New Year's and going into New Year's and not feel so restrained. What can you do to feel like you are more free and more open with maybe your partner or people that you're with? And what can how can you open up a little bit more? Because he feels like he's very much like just, open, maybe because he's being forced to, but so there's a 5. There's a change going on, and maybe it has to do with a new person in your situation, and you're just wondering, I don't know what you're wondering. I don't know, it doesn't look like there's a lot of thinking going on, so maybe it's like think now, plan now, play later kind of thing. Anything else for Taurus people? 3 of Earth. So I feel like it's something at like 3 degrees, or again, this is Mars and Capricorn. So maybe taking the lead on something as well. And not holding, maybe you want to take the lead, maybe you don't feel like you can take the lead, because there's all this like kind of power struggle here. And like maybe just trade off, or understand what it is that you like about someone else taking the lead, and where it is that you like to take the lead in your dynamics, you two. What works best for you? And the 2 of Air, a choice or a crossroads. So I want to say like and cut kind of thing. So yeah, it's getting really long. So anyways, I hope that you have a great New Year's, Taurus, and I hope this was helpful and you enjoyed the reading. Bye.